Hey, it's been a long time since I published a video, so I knew it was about time to get around to doing it. I have hundreds of subscribers. Thank you for doing that. Um, I brought out a few weapons today to the range. These are weapons that I've procured over the last few months and hadn't had a chance to come out and shoot. In the old days, we lived down in South Georgia and we had our own land and we could shoot anytime we want, but now we don't. We live up near Athens in the city and we can't just shoot anytime we want. So today we're at Cedar Creek WMA here about an hour away from Athens, Georgia. This is a public range. When we got here, it was completely full of people. There was not even a table to come to. And I finally got on this table here and got to shoot some. We didn't make any real videos then because there was too many people here. But one of the weapons that I brought today is the 1953 M1 Garand. This is the second one that I purchased. This one is special because it's an International Harvester. Well, all of the kids / teenagers that were here on the range and a few adults who never fired an M1 Garand, I made sure they got a chance to shoot one if they wanted. And I think that's important. We as gun enthusiasts, if we have these 70-something-year-old rifles, we should let the people enjoying them and get a shot on them. We'll talk about all these a little bit later in depth. Anyway, I also have a Stevens 22 410 over under. These were produced from 1938 to 1945. They were actually produced after that as well, but they became Savage, you know, took the name, and it was the model 24, and they made those up until about the don't quote me, I think it was 1990s maybe. They made them pretty long time. But this one has to be between 1938 and 1945 because it has wood stock and it's a Stevens marked. When I originally got this weapon, shotgun, rifle, I got it in Dallas about 4 years ago and the barrel was damaged. So this is a replacement barrel. It took me a long time to find one. However, when we tried to shoot this today, we did not have success. So that was unfortunate. The 22 portion, I got it to fire 3 times, probably tried about 10 times. The shotgun portion, I did not get it to fire, and after the second try, I decided just to leave it alone. It's obviously got an issue, so we're going to be taking this to Watkinsville to a gunsmith and let him take a look at it. I suspect that there's a problem here. If you don't know much about these old Stevens 410 22s, 22 410s, this is the selector. This is how you select between shotgun or rifle. You move this up or down. Well, this was a problem. So these were sent back to the factory, and then this portion right here was put on the hammer. It's like a little selector on the hammer, and as you can see, that's pretty loose. So I know there's something wrong in here, so I'm going to have this looked at and figure it out. I don't know if Mama got any video of me trying to shoot this. I don't know. She may have. Nope, she says no, she did not. It didn't work anyway. The other thing we got here, and I may shoot it since there's nobody here. I did shoot it earlier. This is a Springfield model 174. These were made in the 70s. I'm not sure exactly when this one was made. I picked this up at an estate sale. This is a pump 30-30. So not real common. I know Remington made some pump 30-30s. Savage made this. So Savage made these pump 30-30s, and most of them were branded as Savage, but some were branded as Springfield, some were branded as Western Auto, and other, you know, I don't know how many, but you know, all these hardware stores and so forth all over the country, they could order, they could request that Savage make these and brand them for them. So some of them are branded like that. We have any video of us shooting this? I will take a couple shots with this one because it is functioning properly, and it is very accurate, to be honest. Very accurate gun. Not that I'm going to get too deep into it. Here's a Ruger. Of course, this is what I came just to check my sights. The Ruger SFAR 308. I got this a while back. You know, the funny thing about this is I had bought a what brand? Stag. I bought a Stag Marksman 10 308, and the barrel's, you know, like 4 inches longer. And the weapon was so heavy, I just couldn't deal with it. I still have it. That particular, I actually put an ATN thermal scope on it and all this night scope and all this stuff, and I took that off. It was just way too heavy. I think the thing weighed around almost 12 pounds when I put all that stuff on there. This Ruger here is much lighter. I think, if I remember right, with the scope and the magazine, I was at 9 pounds when I weighed this. This thing shoots great. I shot these older guns here today, and after I shot them, I grabbed this Ruger here, and I still had my target up. Used the scope, zoomed right in, you know, and I was making headshots, you know, real easily. What are we looking at? Maybe 45, 50 yards. This is an awesome weapon for deer hunting or hog hunting or self-defense or whatever you want to do. I mean, it does have that 308 punch and kick. And it's funny because I shot this and then I grabbed my Colt M4 and I went through a magazine on it, and it, you know, it's like shooting a BB gun compared to a real rifle. I might get some hate for that, but just saying, there's a big difference between a Ruger SFAR 308 and a Colt M4 5.56. I guess everybody knows that, but this is my favorite. I hate to say my favorite gun, my favorite AR style gun. My favorite gun. My lever actions are my favorite guns. If you watch my videos, you know I love my 357 lever actions. So let me load this one up. Let me put here's my baby down here. I will put her up back in. She is deaf, so it doesn't bother her any. But I wouldn't want anybody making any comments on the video. Did you get any video of me shooting the Springfield? Or Springfield. So, I have a Springfield M1 Garand, but this is the international version. So we'll leave that. I'll throw a couple in this and fire them off, and then that's it for today. If you ever have any, I don't check my comments that often. Usually I have my comments turned off because people are haters. But if you have any questions or comments, you feel free to email me, okay? Thank you very much. You know what happened after we made that little bit of video a while ago? I remembered some things I want to tell you about my M1 Garand here that I didn't tell you a minute ago. Why this one is so special to me. I think I mentioned that I got this at the CMP over in Alabama. Well, you know, those guys there can look up everything on these things. And there's always a few guys in the showroom or the lobby or whatever you want to call it that are like really M1 Garand fanatics. Turned out that this stock, this part, is with the cartouches and the markings. They determined that this stock was from September 1941, so pre-World War II, like Holy Grail type stock, and in really good condition, because I was debating getting a expert grade M1 Garand in this International Harvester version, but that would mean new wood and a new barrel. This barrel is from 1942, and the stock is from September 1941, and then the receiver is International Harvester from December 1953, which my International Farm All A is for the 1953 model. So that was really cool to me. And then I even got this sling, which this sling has the date on it, if I'm not mistaken. It's 1944. So if you go by the CMP store in Alabama, in Anniston, Alabama, and you're a World War II or a Korean War buff, they have things in there that they can document war time, war period. They can't say for sure they were in battle or not, but they can definitely say that they were of that time period. So to me, this is really cool. I do have a Springfield Korean War receiver as well on another M1 Garand I have. I love these guns. Aren't these guns? I mean, really, aren't these guns just awesome? When you shoot this, you can really feel it. Especially if you come here and you shoot a 5.56 and a 308, and then you put this on your shoulder and shoot it. My wife was with me. We let the teenagers that were here at the range shoot, and the last one, he was probably about 16, 17, I'm guessing.
I think he was about 20.
Really
Maybe,
think he was
yeah.
that old? Well, the funny thing was, is you know, he was down there shooting some sort of AR-15 or M4. You know, modern clock, all this kind of stuff. His dad was down there with him. He came and grabbed this and he put it up on his shoulder. He was like, golly, this thing's heavy. I said, yeah, imagine being a soldier, you know, 18 years old, 19 years old in World War II in Germany or Japan, carrying one of these with only 8 rounds in the clip. I told him about the clip and everything. And when he let that first round fly, I wish we'd have videoed it, you know, because he was like, oh my God. I mean, this is I don't mean to sound like a chauvinist but this is a man's gun, you know. I mean, you shoot this thing, you know you're shooting something that's real. Anyway, I just wanted to come in and comment a little bit more on this M1 Garand. I love it. I love it. What an amazing rifle. And everybody should have one. If you're an American and a patriot, you should have one of these.